Alright people, so I want to make a video here about how black lives do matter. And you might be saying, you know, oh, I would never expect the ruthless rancher to be part of the Black Lives Matter movement. Well, let me explain here. So the Black Lives Matter movement, going around the country is basically, protesting police brutality, which, is a problem in the world, not especially in America. With there's definitely many times where cops kill people and they are not justified about it, but it shouldn't be made into a racial issue. I don't think it's racially based. There's many times where white people get killed unjustified, and there's also many times where black people are killed unjustified. Or unjustifiably, I guess is the correct terminology. But, this shouldn't be made into, a black versus white issue. It should be made into just a human rights issue, just an issue like that. It should be made into an issue that encompasses the whole human race instead of just the black people. And, it just seems like every time a white cop, kills a black cop, no matter what, this Black Lives Matter movement is quick to jump on it and use it to, start riots and shit like that. And, they don't care what the circumstances are around it. They just fucking want to fuck shit up and whatever. And I was watching one of their protests, and they're like, yeah, these cops are gonna they're looking to exterminate us. They're gonna exterminate the black population. And that's really what I want to kind of talk about here in this Black Lives Matter movement. Alright, so, now what I'm saying by being part of my own, this is different from the typical Black Lives Matter movement. This is my own Black Lives Matter movement. And I'm saying that, Black lives do matter in the fact that since Roe versus Wade, there has been 16 million black people aborted in this country. Now that's the real statistic we have to look at when we are talking about how black lives matter. Again, cops, police brutality is an awful thing. It does happen. But these people who, are going around protesting the black, Black Lives Matter, you won't hear Al Sharpton, he's talking about how, these cops might be, killing these black people, whatever. Why doesn't he talk about the 16 million people aborted? Why don't these, so-called people who are, that care so much about black people, why aren't they talking about those 16 million, innocent unborn children who were murdered? They won't talk about that, will they? No, they will not. So that's but I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that because, recently InfoWars held a protest, doing the sort of thing I'm talking about right now, and they had some negative response to it, some like Satanist communists there and shit like that. So, and there was actually one woman there, she was like proud of killing her kids. She's like, yeah, I kill my kids. It was just sick. So that's what I want to talk about and just get out there, and just say that, yes, I care about everybody on this planet, born and unborn. And, when they say Black Lives Matter, they do matter. It's a very legitimate, topic that they name their movement. But their message does not reflect the name of their movement. Because when they say Black Lives Matter, alright, if they matter, then again, why aren't you talking about all these innocent people who were murdered? Millions of them murdered like that. So, it's just sick. A lot of these people, a lot of people who get an abortion, I'm sure, they thought it was the best thing to do. I'm sure they're not, I don't know, they're not fucking Satanists or something like that. They're not, totally evil people. If you get an abortion, you can definitely repent and become a good person once again, and be sorry for it, whatever. But, there's some people out there who are actually, like promoting abortion. You know, it's one thing to be pro-choice. It's another thing to be pro-abortion. So, you know, it just really pisses me off about, you know, how many people are just have been aborted, 55 million since Roe versus Wade. Uh, it's basically just legalized murder, in my opinion, because I mean, just because a child is not born yet, that's gonna be a fucking child. It is a child. I mean, you know, and once it even, you know, grows, it's a fucking child. I mean, it feels pain. You know, so I mean, you could fucking totally see that. I mean, when you're talking about, you know, abortion, you know, early in the pregnancy, I mean, I still disagree with it, but I mean, you could kind of make an argument for it, I guess. But when you get in, you know, into the stages of the baby becoming more developed, I mean, it's just sick to kill that child. And because you can't, I think a big reason why some people support abortion is because you can't physically see the child getting hurt. You know, you can't see it feeling pain. You know, and again, it's a fucking living thing. You know, it's alive. Yes, it's required, or it depends on its mother to support it for life, but it's alive. You know, it's fucking alive. So I fully think that, you know, abortion is fucking wrong, and they go, oh, you have a right to your own body. They say that. Oh, really? It's fucking your choice to put the fucking baby there. It did not have a choice. So, all right, okay, if you have a right to your property, whatever, if you have a right to your own body, okay, so then I could just go out, I could just walk right out on the street, fucking pick up, you know, a random child, drag him onto my property, and then fucking shoot him because I could say, oh, you know, he's on my property. I have a right to my own property. Or I could, you know, adopt a child and then fucking shoot him and say, oh, you know, yeah, I have a right to my own property. He was invading my property. So it's just fucking, you know, a total stupid argument that these, you know, liberals make, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, that they make. So, you know, black lives do matter, and I do care, you know, about all these, you know, black people out there who are getting aborted. I feel sorry for them that, you know, our politicians have been corrupted, and that, you know, just all, and that many people have been brainwashed or corrupted as well. So that's what I want to do, just promote good values and shit like that. And I could probably make an hour video talking about abortion and shit, and why it's bad, you know, alternatives to abortions and shit like that. But I don't want to make an hour video. So, I mean, I'll probably wrap it up here by saying, you know, I see people, oh, it's a woman's right to have an abortion. You know, they use the word right. You know, and all these liberals are saying, oh, it's, you know, your right to have an abortion. You know, they love to say, you know, they love to promote so-called, you know, your civil rights, or, you know, your civil liberties, when it's just convenient to back up their corrupted viewpoints. So, you know, it's not your right to have an abortion when you're killing a child, taking away their right to life. So, there you go, people. Abortion is wrong. And if you differ with me, then I would be gladly to have a civilized debate with you in the comments section below, or in other places of social media. But there you go, people. There is my Black Lives Matter movement.